and put my hat on because I look like poop. Let's see if anybody pops on over. Oh, I should have got like a bottle of water or something. I don't know. Sit here for a little bit and see if anybody pops on in. Oh, that does work. How does that work? Oh, it just pops up like that? Oh. Interesting. What's this? Let's start messing with buttons. Oh. There's like stuff I can do. Not like anything useful, but do that. I didn't know that some of these settings existed. That's kind of cool. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, that doesn't actually close my thing. Okay. I thought if I closed the stream on my phone, it would stop shit from popping up. Or like kill my live or whatever. The random creepy ass kids music caught me off guard. I like that a little better. It's the same thing. I'll do this for a couple minutes. I don't know what the hell that says, Carlos. TNSL P2BNTSO? What does that mean? And hello, it's nice to meet you. But I don't know what that abbreviation all is. You know what I mean? It's a challenge. Not a lot of people can spell it. Like, just say it just like I did. Oh, good night. It's just a little drive-by thing. Gotcha. Well, fair enough. It was nice meeting you. And I appreciate the good night. That's nice. I'm going to have to screenshot that and Google that shit later. See what the hell you just had me do. What flavor I got? This one is banana ice cream. And it sounded good when I got it. And it tasted good when I got it. And after a couple days of it, I'm not liking it anymore. But I'm doing pretty damn good on not smoking, so I'll take it. Come on. There we go. Hit that thing. Yeah, it's like one of those things, like, it's like you get a vape and like I go through, like I've had this one for like 2 weeks. I have other forms of nicotine, so like I'm not dominant on it, and I'm trying not to smoke anything at all when I'm at work, which has been nice and helping, like no cigarettes and no vaping. But yeah, after like even when I was hitting the vapes really hard and I was going through like one of these things every couple days, um, when I first started the vapes again, it was like after like the thing was at 50%, I was like, I don't like this flavor anymore. It's gross. You know what I mean? So what's going on with you, Carlos? Just chilling? How strong is it? I don't know. It hits good. Like nicotine level, I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea nicotine level of it. It's salt nic, so it's probably 6% or usually 5 or 6%. As far as the actual hit, like you actually get a chest hit. Because I was originally doing the elf bars, and like there was no chest hit. It was just nothing. You know what I mean? So currently I live in Northern California. I was bred and born and raised in South Carolina, and then I lived in Massachusetts for a while. And then for about 4 years, I was out of the country. How about you? Where are you from, man? Yep, I've definitely been around, and we'll see. Right now, I'm into it, and kind of you're in San Diego. Yikes! Is it as bad as social media says it is? I've been doing a lot of. I've had like my head under a rock for like 4 or 5 years, pretty much since COVID. I have not been paying attention to fucking anything at all. And now I'm like trying to backfill a shitload of information, and like some of the shit I'm finding, I'm like, that is fucking wild. I'm definitely figuring out which way I lean. Crazy and expensive as hell. Like, yeah, because I've seen some of the stuff I'm watching, like, is just, I don't know, it's weird. I'm like, a lot of it's political stuff, and I'm not super comfortable talking. Like, the best way to make enemies is to talk about political stuff live, because people just don't know how to communicate ideas and beliefs and stuff in a healthy way. It's just all attacking, and I don't like that. But I was watching stuff on like homeless population and drugs and how they're structuring it, where like people aren't able to like stop anything from happening. So like if they want to set up a little tent city on the sidewalk at the corner, that's where they live now. And I'm currently homeless. I've been homeless for about a year now. And like almost 5 years sober. It'll be 5 years sober in April. So it ain't that type of homeless, you know what I mean? There's different. I'm sure with you being actually around homeless people, you understand that there are different kind of subtypes of homeless people. The homeless drug addict is definitely the scary one that people are more familiar with. I'm not one of those. I was back in the day, but I'm not anymore. But yeah, I see a lot of the homeless stuff and the drugs, like people nodding out on fentanyl and shit. Like, fentanyl was before my time. It wasn't really on the scene, you know what I mean? So like, I was doing heroin and drinking a lot, but I haven't done heroin since fucking 2012. So it's been a minute. And then like the drinking, I was sober for 6 years and I relapsed for a couple months. I was drinking real heavy and then I stopped. That was back in 2019. Yeah, I'm just homeless. I was living on the streets for a little bit and couch hopping and stuff, and someone I knew was like, it's not much, but I have like we can put a spare bed that we have in the garage. So I live in a detached garage, you know. I just got a job about 3 months ago. So I've been back to working full time and shit, so it's good. Like things I'm trying to dig my way out. I have a habit of like collapsing my life and rebuilding it from the bottom, collapsing, rebuilding, and it's just this iteration involves kind of publicly telling the world about it. So I'm trying. I'm actually going to be trying to look at a second job. I was streaming on Twitch. I actually did that as a career, wild time in my life for like a year and a half. That was our full income, and like it paid all the bills and the mortgage and shit. I have a forever 6-month-old son. I have an 8-year-old daughter that I lost custody of 5 years ago. And then I have a 14 and a 20-year-old stepkid. So I have stepchildren. What's up, Reno? Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm in a little better mood today. I actually just read a comment on my last short of like, it was nice seeing you get happy, and like they were like, I understand bipolar and like PTSD and all that, but do you really want your channel to be doom and gloom? Like, and I was like, well, you can't really understand bipolar if you don't understand that some days I'm going to be really sad and some days I'm going to be really happy, and I'm all over the place. It's a motivator for sure, and they do support me. They try their best. I'm a hard person to support because of the stuff in my dome piece, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at like. It's really just I need to not be a dickhead. Like if I can just be a little bit less of a dickhead every day, like I'll be in pretty good shape. My temperament's not great. I'm very assertive. Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing too. Like, and I'm trying to keep that in mind. Like, I've been through a lot of shit, so I try to give myself a break. But I'm trying to give myself a break without making it someone else's problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, that I'm starting to grow into. Like, I just like even if I just take my childhood, I had a horrid, abusive, fucked up childhood. But like, I'm 30. Like, me having a bad childhood is not the cashier at Winco's fault. Like, it's not her fault, so why the fuck am I taking it out on her? Like, I'm starting to use kind of logic to kind of wrangle my emotions a little bit. Yeah, and that's really it. Like, I gotta pick a path and stick on it. Medication therapy work. Like, I gotta do all that stuff, and like, I'm like getting stuck on this whole like your shit should be more positive, because my last video I thought it was positive. So like that short, I don't know if you saw it, Reno, but I was talking about having PTSD and like getting stuck in how like broken I was, and like but I'm getting better. That was like the main. I thought it was the main focal point of the short, was just like, but I'm getting better. I'm still broken, but it's better than it was. Like there's improvement. That's what I was talking about. And I was talking about like, getting out of your own shit and going to go help somebody else, because that does help me a lot. Like that's part of me healing, is to go help other people. Like that's why I like my job so much. So I'm like, I'm getting spun out. I'm like I rewatched the video. It's like 58 seconds long or something. I rewatched it. I'm like, it sounds like I'm trying. The message sounds positive. You know what I mean? Like the last one, like I thought the message sounded positive. You know? Exactly, Carlos. Like that's part of the human condition. Like if you're not trying to improve something, like something else is dwindling. Like it's either improving or diminish. And like that's where I'm at. Like I don't have issues with drugs or alcohol anymore. That's good. That's awesome. Um, I can go to work. I can work, so that's good. For a little bit there, I couldn't, and like I'm trying to take care of my physical health more. Like get enough sleep, eat better, like get some exercise in where I can. Like in like it's really like my interactions with people are not great. It's really easy to be calm and cordial, like doing a live stream, because like you're not in my face, you're not bothering me. Like it's whatever. But like trying to improve like how I interact with like my girlfriend, fiance, wife, I don't know what to call her, but like yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, and that's a lot of what it is. As long as you're trying, you're trying. I haven't given up on trying. If I gave up on trying, I would have been locked in the psych hospital again. And it's been over 5 years since that's happened. Like, I know what it's like to want to be given up. You know what I mean? Steven, what's going on? Good to see you again, dude. Hello, hello. I got to figure out a better, more consistent way to make shorts when I'm working. It is like, it's been very challenging because I want to make a short a day. You know what I mean? Just to kind of some type of feedback, so at least you can see the mood I'm in or something. Because like, I know when I'm gone for a couple days, people are like, "Well, where the fuck you at?" But like, um, when I do those 12 and a half hour shifts, like I get out, I talk to Anna for a little bit. If I need to, I take a shower and then I fucking pass out. Like, and I sleep. I wake up. I get some food in me. I talk to Anna for a little bit and I go to work. Like you know what I mean. I work at a SRF. It's a social rehabilitation. So like, it's for people with schizophrenia and stuff. Uh, like, uh, like what do you call it? Like mental illnesses that are like debilitating, and like we get them on the right medication and teach them some life skills, and end goal is to figure out the next place they can live, hopefully get them at a place where they're living on their own, but they're conserved, so it's like um, they're deemed mentally unwell, so the state's making all their decisions. So that's I'm a caseworker for that. So like, yeah, yeah, and it's the first job I've ever really had helping. Like I have a degree in engineering, and I've done a lot of production jobs and manufacturing jobs and some machining operation jobs and stuff like that. So this is my first like hospitality job, and I do genuinely, I fucking like it. Um, Aspects of it I don't like talking to the psychologist for like 5 hours and like arguing and going back and forth. But part of what I do is I advocate for my clients. So if I feel like their symptoms are not improving and we need to do something medically to change it, like I'll fucking get up on that shit. Um, so like that's and it worked. We get a guy that's he's sleeping a little better. He's reacting to stuff a little less. Like he seems to be doing a little better. We get some growth coming, and I'm looking forward to like the clients coming in. We only have 3 now. We're a 14-person place, but like I'm looking forward to a year down the road where like to see how much they've improved and to see them get off conservatorship and go back out into the world and be like as functional as they can be. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really fucking like it. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I like it. Aspects of it are exhausting. Every job has that. Like there's aspects of it that suck. I don't know if you've ever had a schizophrenic scream at you for 10 hours, but like I get out of there sometimes and I'm like, fucking, I'm triggered and my symptoms are kicking off because like I got my own shit too. You know what I mean? So like 10 hours of a schizophrenic screaming at you is like, it's stressful, and I'm there by myself. I'm night shift, and I'm there by myself the whole time. I can't like look at my coworker and be like, hey, I'm gonna go step outside for 10 minutes. Like I don't get lunch, I don't get breaks. If I got to be on all the time. Like I'd be in the middle of going to the bathroom and have to pinch it off real quick and go handle some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's most people haven't. Um, I do. I get that way, Carlos. That's what I was just talking about. I can't step away. Yes, I feel like lashing back, yelling back. It wells up. It's there. I don't know how to get yelled at. I'm usually the loudest one. I'm usually the most aggressive one. So like getting yelled at, that stopped happening when I was a kid. So I definitely feel it bubbling. I haven't done it. It's been 3 months and it's happened quite a few times. I've been directly cussed out. I've had shit thrown. Like I've had a client try to take a swing at me, like, and it's just not there. And I think a lot of it is intent. I go to work to help sick people. They're sick people. So like I've been around like people like with cancer that have said horrible things. And it's like, well, they're sick. Like you get a pass, you know what I mean? COVID recently, you had COVID and it changed your whole perspective. How did COVID change your perspective? Like perspective on what? But yeah, it definitely works my nerves. Like I get out of it. I get out of work sometimes and like I'm fucking it's like I'm wired. It's like I just did a bunch of coke. Like I'm just fucking like overstimulated and worked up, you know what I mean? So like that happens. Those days it's really hard for me to fall asleep because my brain is just fucking going. Um but I go in there and we play cards and I talk to them about how to maybe grounding techniques if they're having nightmares. I make them food and let them outside for cigarette breaks and do groups with them. I do a group every night, cook them breakfast, you know. I ain't tough because I ever did nothing. Nothing I've ever done would constitute tough. The only thing I've ever done that's tough is when I really, really feel like quitting. I'm still here. Like I'm still at the table. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all you can really do. I'm still at the table. I'm willing to play the next hand. Like that's the only quitting I acknowledge is quitting. Like when you hang it up, like that's quitting. You know what I mean? Like having a hard time having day stretches where I'm laying in bed crying. That's not quitting. That's not giving up. That's not, that's not being a bitch. That's just, that's the hand I'm playing today. And then I start pulling out of it a little bit, and then I go, back on margin. That's the thing. So the goal of my channel has been like the main goal of why I've been posting shorts and talking about what I talk about with like my mental health symptoms, what it's like to be homeless, what it's like to be a vet, perspective I have on certain topics. And it's not so I can start off as like, this is me building my way out of depression and this is me with my fairy tale lifestyle. It's literally just, this is what it looks like. And like, I don't know the like having an issue, going to therapy for a couple months, getting a good job, and then happily ever after. I don't get to have that life. The mental illnesses I have, I'm stuck with. Like they'll get better, but they're always there. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm resolved to it. But like, so like I don't have rapid success with things. You know what I mean? It's not a boom, 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 boom. What's up, Protos Brahmana? This proverbial space is my friend's detached garage that I live in. And nice to meet you. I'm sorry if I probably butchered your name completely. So like, but what I get to do is like over a year period of working on myself, this aspect improves, this mannerism improves, this reaction to something goes away. Like I get very small improvements, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't get leaps and bounds. Something clicks and I'm all better. I get a really good run of mental health stuff where I'm happy and functioning at a high level and in a good mood, and I work on myself a shitload in that time period, and I crash and burn. And while I'm crashing and burning, I'm trying to work on how I behave while I'm crashed and burned, because that's a big one. When I'm depressed, I like to lash out at people. I like to be a dickhead. I don't like to do it, but it's what I do. So like trying to navigate, like, and it's constant, it's continuous. I haven't had a day in over a year when I'm not working on something as some type of advancements. In June last year, I got my license. I haven't had my license since 2008. So I got my license. My friend gave me a truck. It's still not on the road, but I have a truck. And I got my license. The parts are there. I'm working on it. Got the job. Like, baby steps, fixing past relationships. The big important three are my stepkids and my girlfriend. Like, fixing the damage I caused there. Sometimes. It's averaging out. It, like, I've described it, the whole 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but sometimes it's 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 2 and 2, and it just kind of feels like for some people, they get to do like, it'll average out every 20 steps, it's only 19 back. So every 20 steps, they're guaranteed to be 1 more step forward forever. And with some people, it's just like, well, I have to take 100 steps. And it's 99 steps backwards, but it takes me more steps to get that extra guaranteed step. And like, I'm okay with that. Like it's okay. I have the ability to get move forward. I'm not moving backwards in life. I mean, there's parts of my life I can't really move backwards into. Um, like this is better. Having electricity is tight, but I know I can live in a world without electricity. I've done it, and I know how to like charge my shit at places and live off of backup batteries and stuff. So like the electricity is cool. There's shit I'm fucking super grateful for. Uh, it's cold. It's cold right now. I'm under a heated blanket and a wool blanket on a mattress off the ground. So like I'm fucking happy. Like, and it's cool because I've lived the lifestyle where I'm sleeping in a California King. The central air is pumping. Everything's fucking good. I got that fucking high thread count fucking sheet set. Like, and I'm laying there miserable and fucking I hate everything. Like, and it's funny because like I know it's all, I know for a fact it's all perspective. It doesn't matter what you have, who you have in your life, what job you're doing. Like your mood is all perspective. It really is. So like I can't wait till like the work I'm doing now when I'm finally back at home. And I'm in the nice bed and my dogs are in the next room and my lady's next to me, like I just want to be this happy, you know? Yeah. And it's good at the baseline and it's like just the perspective. It's so fucking important. And I think that's a lot of what's wrong in the US right now. The focus is on the wrong shit. I completely mind fucked myself 2 days ago. Um and I've mind fucked a lot of people in the last 2 days because of it. And like it is such a simple question that I think it's going to be a while before anybody not actively researching it is going to be able to answer correctly. So Steven, are you from the US? Yeah, attitude is just, it's super fucking important. Like if you got the, like I get it, like I'm not going to go places if I only ever have the doom and gloom. But like some full days I have it. And a lot of days I'm either neutral or happy. I would say 5 days a week I'm neutral or happy, and it's like one or two a week that I'm doom and gloom. But the doom and gloom is there. So the question I've been asking, and I was shocked to fucking find the answer out to. Um, and it ties into a lot of like what social media does, what misinformation does, and it's part of perspective. That's why I'm talking about it now. What percent of the United States do you think is white? This is strictly talking about media influence. It's not a racial thing. It's just how the media warps things, right? It has nothing to do with it. It's just a question. Bitter's a tough one because bitter is you're still upset with something. That's what bitter is. Like, and it's a hard one to change. It's you know what I mean? Yeah, but like, so I was talking about this. It's about that, but overall percentage, like the entirety of the United States, what percentage do you think is white? I've been the closest thus far since I've been asking the question, and I was still way off. You oh no, there you go. You're the closest thus far. 72. I thought for sure it was close to 50-50, and like a lot of people I've been asking are saying like 40%, 30%. It's still 72. It's still an overwhelming majority. And like it's a lot. 17. So that population has gone up. So like it's it's a skewed because a lot of people think it's about 50-50. Yeah, so like it's it's wild because like I heard you're close. You're very close. So 12% is not far off at all. Um, but like I thought it was 50-50. I was like, oh yeah, for sure it's going to be around 50-50. And you know, my girl thought it was like 40%. I've heard 20%, 25%. Like, and and then I tell people, I'm like, no, it's 72. And they're like, whoa. And I did the same thing when I actually Googled it because I thought it was 50-50. And like, that's a good, strong representation of how media warps your perspective. It warps it hard. Because that's the only content when I go on YouTube, right? Yeah, money's a super important thing. I don't think about it at all. But yeah, media fucking it warps your entire state of being, all of it. Like I did TikTok. Like I downloaded and had owned TikTok for like a couple months. Um, so like, but like you go on there and it's crammed down your fucking throat. I stopped physically watching the news, like broadcasted news, like 10 years ago. I was just tired of seeing. It got that stuff was like, I'm tired of seeing it. Ain't gonna happen. The mainstream news and stuff. No, I don't want to. I don't want to see what's wrong. I don't want to know what's wrong. Whatever. Um, and like, so 10 years ago, I start that mentality track started. Um, about 6-7 years ago, I stopped doing social media at all. I would like a couple of years ago, I was streaming on Twitch like full time, and then I do the YouTube stuff. Like I don't mind this. This is just talking conversation, but like I stopped anything news related, local, national, global. I didn't care. Like I buried my head in the sand, and it's very much like, for whatever reason, like a week ago, I took my head out of the sand and started looking around, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Um, and like now I look at the bills that are being passed, like the shit that this person is saying about this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like my perspective, I literally, deployed in 2008 and came back in the end of 2012. So like I have almost no knowledge of anything from 2012 to now. That jump is fucking like, my mentality of the news was like, okay, there's left side, there was a right side. Um, 10 years ago, the towers went down, and both sides fucking got guns and went and did some shit. To like, yeah, right. So like, it I'm like experiencing culture shock because I started like, and I'm watching both sides. I'm watching all of it. Fox, CNN, MSNBC. I'm watching fucking podcasts about it. I'm Googling stuff. Part of my job is like, if all my clients are asleep, I freely go on my phone. I use the computer. Like I get the time to research. I've researched a lot about mental illness and stuff. I've learned a lot about DID and schizophrenia and PTSD. Like I'm diving down those rabbit holes too. But it is like, I've had my head in the sand for like 10 fucking years. The country was so much different 10 years ago. Or even fucking, because I remember being in my gymnasium and watching the trade centers go down at school. And I remember like the teachers I had, everybody was upset. I remember the kids, the white ones, the black ones, the Hispanic ones, were all upset. Everybody was upset. That was my last real news watch. It was like 2001, where I was like aware of me watching the news. And it's the polarization. It's like, everybody's always known the media, like you push your agenda, you twist some stuff. But like watching stuff where they're like, they cut off the first, like it's a 5-minute video and they'll cut off the first minute and the last 2 minutes and show you the middle 2 minutes. And it's a different story. It's telling a different story. And I'm like I've been watching a lot of body cam footage because you see this case of something happening and they show you this 3-minute clip and it's like, oh my God, that's fucked up. But like, you can go find the body cam footage and watch the full 7-minute and it's like, oh, it is a completely different story. Like what actually happened, everything all makes sense. It all fits. What they're showing you doesn't. And then that 2 minutes that's getting showed is getting 1 billion views. So like, That's what the truth is. The truth is now whatever is watched more. It has nothing to do with facts or what actually happened. It's whatever was watched more. And like, that's crazy. Garrett, how's it going, man? Yeah, I'm a little baby type of guy. I'm sitting here chilling, so like, it's nice. I'm kind of having a casual conversation, pretty much. But it's nice to meet you. I appreciate you popping in. The body cam footage stuff is super important because then you get to see the entire progression and what's actually happening. I don't know why they didn't do that shit sooner. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I run into all sorts of people. I live in California. I run into would I like a new subscriber? If you want to subscribe, you can. It's not a requirement, you know. I don't ask for them, but I appreciate them very much. So like, that's the thing. I live in California. We are a fucking very mixed group. You know what I mean? And I run into all sorts of people. And like, especially streaming on Twitch, I've met gay and trans people, all different races, in person, online. I haven't had a problem with anybody, really. I had a problem with one guy a couple months ago who got drunk and decided to tell somebody they weren't really suicidal, and he said, "You're not really suicidal. You need to stop being a bitch. Go smoke a bowl and have a couple shots, and you'll be okay." And that was in my mental health Discord, specifically designed to give information about mental illnesses, treatment resources, and have a place if you need to talk to somebody. That's what his advice was, and I was really mad about it, you know. All right, I appreciate you very much, Garrett. Very much. I was hoping my events thing would show me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out. I don't know how to set it up on my phone. To like, if someone like subs or something, that I see like a little notification. It'd be cool if I could figure out how to set that up so I know what happens. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, the First Amendment police accountability YouTubes. Like, there's some people doing some really important stuff. And that's what I like about online. Like, I get to be more of my genuine self. Like, I don't have to be defensive about anything. Because, like, Steven, if you didn't tell me you were mixed, I wouldn't have known you were mixed. Why the fuck would I know? It doesn't matter. I wouldn't have talked to you different. I didn't hear you were mixed and started talking to you different because I heard that. You know? Well, it says so I can do it. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. All right, well, enjoy reading. I hope to talk to you soon, Garrett, and I appreciate you. You can do it, so I can do it manually, so I can show you. If someone subs, I can manually do it with this, because I'm using OBS. Oh, that one didn't pop up. It made the noise, but it didn't pop up. I'll have to figure that out after. It's not important. But, like, a lot of the stuff is, like, we need to come up with a timeline of things. You know what I mean? Like, if a crime happened, like statute of limitations, right? So, like, 200 years? I think 200 years is acceptable for anything cultural. If it happened 200 years ago, why would we pay for it now? It's too late. That's like if you like take anywhere, Ireland, like all the other countries over there were super mean to Ireland. It was like this small island nation. They got the shit beat out of them constantly. And it's like, I don't know. It's also weird too, like, so I still have to do some fact checking, but the rabbit hole I've gone down so far appears California's imposing a reparation tax. 1.5%. And that is mind-boggling to me. I'm legitimately confused and disheartened and saddened about it. Like, it's like, and that's the stuff I stopped watching the news over, because I've only read it in a couple sources, So now in this day and age, 2, 3 sources is not enough sources. I don't know what that is. It's not enough sources to say something's factual. Like the front page of Google will lie to you every time. Um, exactly. Everybody. So like this is the whole. I like that you told me you're a Bix though, because it makes this thing's funny, and I know you're military. I grew up on Kool-Aid and fucking fried chicken, bro. Like my mama beat me with a flip flop. Like I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And like that's what we all were. We all had the same memories. We all had the fucking same memories. Like it was the same thing. We ate the same shit growing up. We lived in the kind of similar places. Like you get it. It's like it's meant to be funny because it is fucking strikingly true. Like I grew up in extreme poverty. Like I didn't get to eat every day when I was a kid. The military was an obvious choice for me. Um, so like, and like that's the big thing. Like I've had people when I tell them I'm a vet call me racist. I've had that happen, and I was like, there ain't no race in the desert, dude. Like that, you got me fucked up on that one. There's the guy sleeping next to me is just the guy sleeping next to me. The guy surrounding me in the helicopter, the guy's protecting my ass. Race does not exist in the military. It can't. It wouldn't. Too many people would die. At the end of the day, even if someone's fully blown racist, they're not going to choose to die to hold that conviction. It just, you know what I mean? It goes away. I'm sure you've seen it going in the military and deploying. People have their prejudice, and they could be full blown, blatant racist, tattoos on the neck and everything. Within 3 months of a deployment, that all goes away. It's gone. Like the army wipes it off of you. So it's like really funny, and like that's the thing. It's thrown around. Like it's a tool now. Um, like it, like do you know how many body cam tapes are out there where like someone's getting handcuffed and they're just screaming, "I'm not breathing. I can't breathe." Clearly, nothing wrong with them. They're having full audible conversation. They're still fighting back, and they're just the go-to is "I can't breathe" or "I'm not resisting." I was actually just talking to Anna about this a little bit ago. Like, if you're holding your hands up saying "I'm not resisting," you're not resisting. If they're trying to put you in handcuffs and you're not letting your hands go down, you're resisting. Um, and like furthermore, I spent a good chunk of time living in Dorchester in Boston, slums. Not a very large white population in that part of Boston. Um, there was no holdback. I mean, I guess yeah, things have changed, but like it's justly so. If I heard that button unclip on that taser, I was on the sidewalk. Not willingly. If as soon as I heard that snap, the tase was hitting me and I was on the sidewalk. There was no delay. It clipped as soon as that came out the fucking holster. I was down. Like there was nothing I could do about it. I didn't get warning. I just got tased. Like that was it. Full kiver on the ground until they were done tasing me or they thought I was going to comply. Now you watch the body cam footage and it's 20, 30 minutes of we're going to tase you. Can you please stop? Why are you doing this? Like if I went out down the street and started shit with the cop and he pulled that taser on me, he's tasing me. He's not going to warn me. He's going to tase me. And like that's what I remember is like if a cop pulls a taser on me, I get fucking tased immediately. And like looking back on everything now, rightly so. Like it's the same thing of like if I go to another civilian, just some random fucking person, and I start screaming at them, puffing my chest up, and fucking because that's how I used to respond. It was like you weren't going to disrespect me, you weren't going to intimidate me. I'm going to be the louder one. Fuck you. What you're doing is not right. And they beat my ass. And it shouldn't have been a surprise. Like if I walked up to a random person at the convenience store and started calling him a cocksucker and a little bitch and all this stuff, like why would I be surprised if they punched me in the mouth? Why would I be like, oh, you got me? What is this? And like that's how I boil everything down. Like if I was doing that, would I anticipate some type of consequence? So like I watch this stuff and I was like, I'm not seeing. No, and it's the truth. Like the military is similar, but like it's funny. Someone commented. So I made a post about my deployment. I had an 18-month deployment, right? And they're like, oh, that's extremely rare. Most are 6 months. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Most are 6 months. Almost none of them are 6 months. They tell you they're 6 months. They ain't 6 months. They're either 9 or 12. Like 18 is a little high, but usually they're a year. Like everybody I ran into at the time, 2008 to 2012, it was like a year. Like you were tickled fucking pink if you were only doing 9 months, dude. Yeah, like I've run into one lady deleted her comment, but she was like, "You're not a vet. Tell us who you really are." And then she like watched some of my other videos and then deleted that comment. And I had someone else like, "You ain't no vet," and I was like, "Where are you basing this off of?" But yeah, I did an 18-month. It's a long deployment. Guess what? Everybody else I did that deployment with also did an 18-month deployment. Um, so like it's like operationally, like because I run into people. One of my friends, he was in the Marine Corps for 22 years, and he did like 6 deployments. Like he did his shit. And I was talking to him about where I was and how long my deployment was, and he fucking looked me dead in the eyes like, "I'm sorry, that's a long time." Like, and I was like, "Yeah." So like, yeah, the long deployments, they warp you much different than the short ones. Because like a lot of people, 6 to 9, like that is like what they're supposed to be, but 12, 18, I've heard as high as 24. I've heard as high as a full 2 years in a combat zone. I've heard that high. I've seen it. And like they distort your fucking head something fierce. Because I've talked to people that were in the same areas as me, and like they did 9 months and I did 18, and like they're struggling, but they're even like, I don't know how the fuck you did that. I was like, because it was my job. It's what I had to do. And like people don't understand the severity's a little lower, but a cop's going to do that for 15 years, 20 years. Like he's a cop. It's his job. He's a civil servant. Like that's his shit to do. You know what I mean? Oh, you did a double too. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I did two in Afghanistan and a year and a half in Iraq. That was my full deployment. My 18-month deployment was in northern Iraq. Good old double. Yeah. Oh, and you're about the same age, so you probably did the same swing as I did. Around 2008 to 2012 or 2009 to 2013, something like that. So now one of my last lads, someone talked about they were here. They did 2007 to 2011. Oh wait, no, you're in your fucking. We talked. You're in your fucking 40s or no? You're 55. Did you say you're 55? It's hard for me to process and remember information. It was you and we had pickle something was here. That it literally to me feels like it was 6 months ago. 2001, fair enough. Um, 44. I knew it was a double. It's funny, I said 40 or 55. Fair enough. So yeah, but yeah, I remember there was like three of us talking, a couple lives ago. You want to know what the bitch is though, Steven? What the real bitch is? My first deployment was with the National Guard unit I was part of in 2008. Big sad, dude. I was connected to Michigan, bro. I was supposed to do it was the big sad because I was in the National Guard because I didn't want to deploy. I never wanted to deploy. Um, and like a lot of people, what's up, Cat Faith enthusiast? No tweaking here, brother. But a lot of people will be like, well, the guard doesn't deploy. The guard's never deployed. It's like we deployed a lot of them in 2008. That's an interesting name. Are you like that enthusiastic about cat faces? He's dead. I gotta change from from digital to analog. But yeah, I hear a lot of people too. They're like, the National Guard didn't deploy. They didn't go to Iraq. They didn't go to Afghanistan. It's like they did though. Entire guard units got deployed. Thousands at a time got deployed. Like I don't know what shit you're reading. Yeah, like the guard, like it's the thing, like it's the weird, like because I even called some motherfuckers weekend warrior and shit. Before I was in, like in my early teens, like because it's shit I heard. Oh, you're just a weekend warrior. Like not in fucking wartime, you ain't. Like miss that one, dude. Like they deploy them all over the place. They don't deploy as many because there aren't as many as active duty. Like that's all it comes down to, or it did. I think that number has changed too. But like hearing people just straight up be like, "No, that's not true. The guard didn't deploy." It's like that they did. You pay tweakers to paint their face like cats? Did you say paint twice, or you're that into cats? Gotcha. Real. That's right. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like the dynamics are really weird. Like they do their shit, but like it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like in peacetime, I tell everybody like maybe the guard, the reserves, but I don't think we're ever gonna have peacetime again. There probably are some cat face painters in the guard, Coast Guard for sure. The other worker, the day shift guy, asked me if it was like a real. Oh damn, rats! Don't you just hate when you start off talking shit, but you start making typos? Um, what am I vaping? This one's a banana ice cream, and it's got about 14% juice left in it. And I'm looking forward to when it's gone because it's getting a little fucking old. But yeah, I don't know. Some of the shit's just some of the stuff is just fucking wild, Steve. Like, and people don't know. Like, you don't know to fact check. Nobody fact checks anything. There's no factual information. It's about whoever can scream the loudest. And that worked great if you're a combat medic. That's who you treat first. You go to where the yelling is. That's it. Um, if the headpiece tells you to do something and you don't hear anything else, that's where you're going. Boom, boom. It's really hard with like social climate and politics and stuff. I'm curious to see too what this alleged. I'm certain some people are for sure doing it, but I want to see how big it actually is. The whole truck drivers boycotting New York. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like filling myself in on the new crap, but also some of the old crap. I don't know. I feel like when I was watching the news 10 plus years ago, I could step with some of that shit. Be like, well, they started making the news pretty much as soon as New York passed its judgment. Like those are making the news, but is it just like is it propaganda? Is it to try to get New York to overturn the decision? Is it just made up shit so then we can say like, oh yeah, they didn't have any follow through? But like, I'm pretty sure some are doing it, dude. And it's hard to say, but I'm pretty sure some are doing it. There will be impact in New York because of it. Even 10 people, like if you start making some shit late, it's going to cause some impact. Like there will be impact. I just want to see how big it is. And like I'll be happy about it. The whole thing, like one way or the other, the whole thing is if like my understanding of what it boils down to is if I tell you I want 5,000 for my truck and you say there's no way that's worth $5,000, I'm going to give you 3,000 and we agree on 4,000 and we shake hands and we're fine. That's my understanding of the whole fraud thing. That just sounds like standard business to me. Like, you want people to think your shit's worth more than it is, so they buy it for more than it is. Like, that's standard business kind of everywhere in the world. Which is one thing. I know there's other shit involved. Like, I don't think Trump was an honest man. And it's choosing the lesser of two evils, and that's the options we've always been in. There was not like, there's like which one's gonna do the worst shit, and like we've had a taste of them both. And honestly, to be 100% honest with you, I have never voted. We have had Trump for 4 years. We've had Biden for 4 years. I'm registered to vote. I'm going with Trump. I am. That's it. We've had a taste of what both of them can do, and I've watched it. I live in one of the epicenters of what's going on with the country in California. I've watched it happen. I'm watching it happen. The comparisons. Like, you can make comparisons. Yeah, this part's shitty from this guy. This part's great from this guy. Biden did some good stuff. There's some good shit that came out of the administration. I'll give it to him. There's some good stuff. But, like, it always boils down to one singular thing. We need somebody that can lead. We need somebody that can, like, put somebody in their place. And if we only have the two choices, the only one that can do that more is him. So that's where I'm at. So like that's the thing. So like he did standard business. That's just fucking business. My big issue with the whole thing is there was no real trial. A panel just said you're guilty, this is what you owe. There was no actual trial of it. So like that's the problem I'm having with the whole New York thing. There was no trial. I wish fucking honestly, like I got fucking big personal beef with the man, but I wish Obama could run again. You know what I mean? Holy shit, both of you, Micah and Pickle. We were just talking about you, Pickle. The gang's all here. It was the four of us last time. And that's no problem at all, Pickle. I'm still reading, Micah. Okay. Well, we were just kind of talking about this. So, like, I've had a ton of experience, right, at different varying stages and types of homelessness. I've been a tweaker homeless. I've been a just bad luck homeless. I've been a drunk homeless. I've been a, oh shit, I'm in the wrong state type of homeless. Like, I've interacted with the police a lot, even when I'm not homeless. Like, I've had a lot of police interaction in my life. I'm on both sides. Okay? So, it's where it comes down to stop and search. If you look like you're fucking high on drugs and up to no good, absolutely get questioned by the police. Defund the police does not work. I wish my friend from the start of the stream was here, because he was San Diego. He could personally attest defund the police does not work, because California is pretty fucking defunded and it's a bad place to live. Oakland is the worst it's ever been. Like, it's a bad place to live because we defunded by about 50%. Those numbers are factual. We cut resources. So when it comes directly to homeless people being interacted with the police, absolutely. Like, the general rule the general rule is if someone's homeless, it's mental illness or drugs. There are very few people that don't have an issue with either of those things that are homeless. I would say probably 1 in 10,000. Like, it is so few people, it's not even worth talking about them. So, like, if you're homeless, it's mental illness or drugs. If someone's mentally ill, what's wrong with a cop saying, hey, what's going on? That's what I've experienced a lot of. Hey, you doing all right? What are you up to? Like, that's mostly what I've experienced. And what I've seen other homeless people experience. It doesn't matter color. It doesn't matter what they look like. None of that shit. That's what I see. Is what do you got going on tonight, man? Can I see some ID? Like, I believe that is an okay thing. Just to check somebody out. I think that's kind of the job. I have had really bad interactions with police. I've had one that should not have happened. Not the, hey, what's going on? Can I see your ID? It was me kind of being a dick, kind of not being a dick. I think there was some wrong on both sides. But I smoke so infrequently now that my cigarettes go out while I'm smoking them, and that's a really good thing. It's just also annoying. So he wanted to search my bag. Okay, that was the whole thing. And I know for a fact the only reason why I did not consent to him searching my bag is because I had a joint in there. My official standpoint with weed has always been it's not a big deal. Who cares? If someone wants to be stoned, let them get stoned. It ain't the devil's lettuce. My weed dealer is not the one that introduced me to heroin. It was a completely separate thing. It's not a gateway thing. I think there's a lot of huge benefits to weed. But at the time where I was living, it was illegal. So I held behind the law of you cannot search my stuff without my consent. That is correct. What is also correct is, okay, sit tight. And then a canine unit came 25 minutes later. So, like, I got arrested. It's whatever. I've talked in my channel about the time that, like, I was illegally stopped because it was an illegal stop and search date. And I was illegally stopped. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and the cop stopped me because I was looking like a deranged lunatic and all disheveled and stuff. Like, that was back in my drinking times. And I mouthed off. I got fucking mouthy with him. I fucking started calling him little dick pieces of shit. Like, if you're a real man, you would have joined the military. Like, all this stuff. Immediately aggressive. I postured. I was pulling my fucking pants up, getting ready to fight and shit. Like, my body language and tone was very much saying I was about to be violent. And they beat my ass. At the time, oh, the fucking police, pieces of shit, like, yada, yada, yada. Like, now, looking back on it, and this was 17 years ago, mind you, like, now this current mentality is, yeah, I fucking deserved it. You know? And, like, my experience now, if I'm not doing anything wrong and I'm respectful, I don't have zero issue with police. I've been in cars when they got pulled over. I've had police stop. Hey, what's going on? It happened when I was at work. I went out front to smoke a cigarette. We had just opened. A cop, I saw him slow roll, and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. He pulls up. He's, hey, what's going on? Is this like a new business or something? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's a business. And he asked what it was. And I was just like, well, HIPAA stuff. Like, it says it on the sign what we are. And he's like, oh, he's like, I just don't know because I patrol here every night and I never see anybody. And now you're here. I was like, no, that's fair. I get it. Like, you're just checking things out. And he asked for an ID. I gave him my ID. It's completely pleasant. Like, nothing. He goes, if I go out at 3 o'clock, he's like clockwork. He's in a routine. He didn't even lie about that. If I go outside at 3 a.m. sharp and smoke a cigarette, I will see him drive by every Thursday morning. It like clockwork. And he'll fucking wave to me and shit, flash his lights real quick. Like, I've had really cool interactions with police. I've been stopped. Like, I've had police. I was walking home from a 12-step meeting, and I had a cop stop me and ask me what was going on. And like, I showed him my coin, and he was like, "Oh, that is fucking awesome. I'm so happy to hear that." And he offered to give me a ride home. and he brought me home. Like, I've never had a reason to actually fear the police, other than when I was doing something that I should be afraid of police being around. When I got drugs in my pocket, when I just got in a fight with somebody, when I'm drunk. Yeah, no, I don't want to be around the police. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, pickle, that's fucking awesome, dude. It actually makes me really happy, dude. That's good. Yeah, absolutely, Micah. So, like, that's the other thing. So police are public servants, just like military. What service are they providing? This is the boil down. What service is a cop providing? What service do you think they're providing? Like, that's the big one. Like, the police thing, I have, you know, Alexandra? Oh, it's Alexander. How the fuck did I fuck up such a good, easy thing to say? Hi, nice to meet you, Alexandra. Sorry. Um, Service is public safety. That's what they're doing. A guy that looks like he's been smoking meth for the last 6 months, walking behind a 7-Eleven. Do you think inherently that is somebody that is safe in public? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Where's the line, though? And it's like they're not doing anything wrong. They're just walking. Oh, thank you very much. See, that one worked. That alert worked. Cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And it's nice to meet you. Yeah, you're trespassing behind the store, but that's up to the store to say someone's trespassing. You need to be trespassed to be trespassing. And they do. And, like, that's my stance. If it was voted on, if a cop was allowed to, across the board, request your ID at any time, I would vote yes. If he wants to stop, make sure you ain't got a warrant or you're fucking violation of parole, like anything like that. Like, the police should know who people are, because there's plenty of people in town. We got homeless people that have been homeless here 10, 15 years. The police bring them coffee. They know each other by name. They ask how they're doing. Like, the police should know who they're protecting, so they should know who you are. That's where I'm at. Do I think they just like I know it opens a weird door, but you know what I mean? And if they really want to get you, they'll get you. So, like, it's the whole, like, so it's the what's the big deal argument. If a cop stops you, what's the big deal about just saying, "Hey, how you doing tonight, officer?" "Yeah, of course, here's my ID." "Thanks, I hope you have a good night." Like, because I'm sure when you didn't refuse your ID, you turned, like, what would have probably been a minute or two of a stop into, like, 15, 20 minutes. A big fucking scene, you know what I mean? Thing. Um, yeah, and, like, that's it. Oh, thank you, Alexandra, for the saying you respect me. I appreciate that. Um, so, like, you want to have a good relationship with the community. How do you do that without knowing the community? Like, to me, so if, like, we bump into each other at the convenience store and I say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And then you just making small talk. "Oh, what are you up to?" "Oh, what was your name?" It's civilian to civilian. It's all completely acceptable and socially obvious and normal. But if you have a badge, you're a piece of shit if you do that. Like, I don't get it. But it's not being, to me, it's not being hassled. If a cop says, "Hey, what's going on tonight, man?" I don't think that's them hassling you. It's just them asking you what's going on. You know? That's a huge one. I fucking 100%. Um, yeah, and like I get you, Steven. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not that's why I'm nonpartisan, Micah, is because same thing. Our prison system, I know for a fact it's broken. I've been in it. It's bad. It's not even focused. It's not focused. So I was saying this before where it's focused on punishment over rehabilitation. It ain't focused on punishment either. It's focused on money. You know, mandatory maximums does crack down on that specific crime, but it guarantees we're going to get paid for this bed for 20 years. It's a money. They're privately owned. Prisons are privately owned. If you go to a county jail, way the fuck different than a prison, and that's why, because they're privately owned. County jail ain't privately owned. The county owns that bitch, and it's run way different. It's chiller. You know what I mean? Um. So like that's the problem with the prison system. It's about making money. Do you know why these bad boys right here are so popular and common right now? Not because someone had it's because someone had a good idea. These started in prison. The original like blue cigarettes, that started as a project for dispersing nicotine to prisoners. And it was this little stick that you could maybe get 100 hits off of that they were selling for $24. You know what I mean? No, I get you, Micah. I'm not. There's no political box you can put me in. I'm pro-life and gun. I hate prisons. Love police. I have a lot of love and respect for the military, but I hate the military at the same time. Like I'm almost 50-50 on most of my views. You know what I mean? So like, you can't put me in a box. If you want to hear that I'm pro-gun and just start calling me a racist because that's the cultural norm right now, that's fine. Like, but no, I'm nonpartisan. I ain't got no box to fit in, bro. And it's everywhere. Like, I'm in the middle. Like, the military reprogramming of your soul really sticks to you? Yeah. Most vets they would say they're in the middle. You know what I mean? Bullet point gaming. I'm a pick me. Sure. I don't know what you're picking me for, but I guess. Can you tell me what a pick me means? Like I have to be the center of attention because I'm sitting here to talk to people about just anything they want to talk about? Okay. Anyway, military reprogramming is a thing, but you run into a lot of vets that like are kind of just nonpartisan. But yeah, we were talking about like I stopped watching the news for like 10 years, and the culture shock of now starting to watch the news is fucking nuts. Doing a group stream? Like in regards to what? Like streaming with multiple people or damn, why the fuck are you awake at 3:30, bro? I hope you have a good night, Steve. Thanks for chatting with me again. It was nice talking to you. I do want to do these lives more often so I can talk to you guys more, but it's just kind of where I'm at. Oh, I'm waiting for Pickle just to see if there's more. So you were asking about group stream, but you were talking about independent problem solving. Like if all three of us are talking, you're struggling with independent problem solving. Like I don't quite know what you mean. How's my night? So far so good. I had a good couple hour conversation with Anna. Um, about just some life stuff and like some thoughts, and I guess you can't really call it philosophy. I think the new philosophy is politics, is how you actually call it. But it's been good. My mood's pretty good. I slept a fucking lot today. That's super, uh, super important. I feel so much fucking better than I have the last couple days. I slept a lot today. Someone who oh, uh, okay. If you wanted to call me a pick me, you should ask me what my fucking thoughts on immigration was. Um, in terms of military reprogramming, so I'm so pickle. I'm struggling with the how group streaming ties into it, and the independent problem solving in the military programming. How it's all like merging together. Oh, fucking! I'm stupid. Oh, never mind. Oh, well, I am stupid, but that's not why. I thought I read it wrong as group stream instead of like multi stream, unless that's what you're referring to, like group streaming. It's way harder thinking for yourself. Once you've been in the military for a couple years, it's way fucking harder thinking for yourself. Like I still do shit that like normal people don't do. It's the same as being like institutionalized if you've been in jail. Um, but I still struggle with it. I make instinctive knee jerk responses to things. So like, I solution oriented. You know what I mean? Like when I was talking about tactically throwing a chair off the porch and it exploding into the driveway because someone was complaining it was squeaky for too long. Um, I didn't know what to do about it. The thought process of do I oil it? Do I try to fix it? Do I buy a new chair? Weren't there. It was just I'm going to throw it off the porch. Um, and like that's why I'm trying to find a new routine because like doing this on Monday, doing this on Tuesday, like the whole structure of a routine is super important for the stuff like that. But like in regards to like how I feel about political stuff and like making my opinion on that, honestly, I think I do what most people do, and it's whatever source I get first is what I pick. And that's yucky. So I've been trying to like watch different sides of the same argument to try to figure out like that's what we were talking about earlier, like, where like if you get a clip on like CNN and you watch the footage, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, whatever, pick one. It doesn't matter. Um, like if you watch the 2 minute clip they show you, you'll make a knee jerk fucking what the fuck, like because you watch what they wanted you to watch. But if you then go look and find the original footage and watch the whole thing and hear like what the witnesses are saying and stuff, so when it comes to stuff like that, doing the research, and then it comes to like a philosophical reason, like I do completely understand the people they want open borders. I get it. Like why not just let everybody live here? But like my legitimate viewpoint is keep that fucker closed until we're fine, and then let some more people in. Close that fucker until we're fine. Like we have to have a strong economy. We shouldn't have as many homeless people as we have. We shouldn't have as many suicides as we have. Like the country is literally fucking falling apart. Contain it. Like close the fucking borders down. Fix the shit that's broken here now. And then open up the borders and let some more people back. Close it. Like shit should not get this fucking bad. Like 2 people working full-time minimum wage can't afford to buy a house anymore. Like that should tell you something's wrong. If you only are making minimum wage, if I'm only making minimum wage, I can't go to college. I can't. I can't afford to live and go to college. Other people can do that. Other people don't even have to be working to go to college. So like, it's you got to be informed, and like some things you just don't have to make a decision about. Like when it comes to politics, you don't have to make a decision. You ain't a politician. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion, and I think voting is important. But like, it's we've had too long of like who's the lesser of two evils, and like I've never wanted to pick one. I've never wanted to have any part in saying, oh well, which one's the demon and which one's Satan. Let's figure out who's who. And like this election, I do. I'm going to vote for Trump. First time voting in my entire fucking life. I've been registered to vote since I was 18 years old. It's going to be the first time I'm voting. And it's going to be for Trump. Because I just off of one thing, like, we need a strong leader that can actually fucking stand up to some shit and get some shit done. Like, pick something and follow through and fucking do it. Like, at the end of the day, I am a mental health advocate, and I do case management and treatment for people with schizophrenia. And I got stepkids. I got a truck I want to get on the road. I don't want to be living in a garage forever. Like, I'm going to be living my life. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me too for a bit. I'm also going to wrap up here and like just kind of shut my head off for a little while. You know, and hang out. It was good chatting with everybody though. It was like an hour and a half. And like it was nice hearing from people. I'm going to try to go live again probably tomorrow night. Around this time. I hope you get some good sleep, Micah. 3 hours is not a lot. But thanks for popping in. You asked a good question. Like not a lot of people would ask, like, how do you feel about homeless interaction with police specific? So that was pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And I hope all is well, and the shitty days aren't too shitty, because wishing that you didn't have shitty days would be unrealistic. Later, guys.